Imagine you're standing in a crowded subway, or a busy coffee shop, or even at a dinner table with your closest friends. Take a look around. What do you see? A sea of bowed heads, a glow of blue light reflecting off every single face. Everyone is somewhere else. They're in a digital world, chasing likes, scrolling through endless feeds, and feeding an algorithm that knows them better than they know themselves. But then you see them, the outlier. The person sitting there with absolutely nothing in their hands. No phone, no tablet, no earbuds. They're just there. They're looking at the world. They're observing the people. They're present. And you can't help but wonder, what is wrong with them? Or more accurately, what do they know that we don't?
Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating psychological subcultures of the 21st century, the people who don't use social media. In a world where having an Instagram or a TikTok is basically considered a digital birth certificate, these people are ghosts. They are the anomalies, and the science behind why they do it and what it does to their brains is absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking about a level of mental clarity, a boost in productivity, and a type of social confidence that most of us haven't felt since 2005. Are they geniuses? Are they outcasts? Or have they stumbled upon the ultimate life hack for the modern age? Get ready, because we're about to peel back the curtain on the psychology of the unplugged. Think about the last time you felt a buzz in your pocket, that tiny vibration. What happened in your brain? Your heart rate spiked just a tiny bit. Your brain flooded with a hit of dopamine. You felt a surge of curiosity. Who liked my photo? Who messaged me? What's the news? For most of us, this is a constant 24/7 loop. We are living in a slot machine world where every notification is a potential jackpot. But for the person who has deleted it all, that loop is broken. They've stepped out of the casino. The first thing you have to understand about the psychology of the non-user is their relationship with validation. Most people today suffer from what psychologists call external validation dependency. We perform our lives for an invisible audience. We don't just eat a meal. We photograph it to prove we ate it. We don't just go on vacation. We document it to show how much fun we're having. Our self-worth becomes tied to the numbers on a screen. But the person who isn't on social media, they have flipped the script. They rely on internal validation. They do things because they actually want to do them, not because of how it will look to a bunch of strangers. Imagine the freedom in that. Imagine the sheer mental energy you would save if you stopped caring about the digital gaze. Now, let's talk about the focus superpower. This is where things get really exciting. We are currently living through a global attention crisis. The average human attention span has plummeted to less than that of a goldfish. Why? Because social media is designed to fracture your focus. It's a million tiny pieces of content, one after another, training your brain to seek constant novelty. But the people who have opted out, they are reclaiming their deep work capabilities. While the rest of us are struggling to read a single page of a book without checking our phones, the unplugged individual is reclaiming hours of their day. They are entering flow states easier. They are finishing projects faster. They are quite literally out-competing the rest of the world because their brains haven't been rewired for distraction. It's like they're running a race with a clear path, while everyone else is running through a thick fog of notifications.
But wait, it gets even deeper. Have you ever heard of the social comparison trap? It's that sinking feeling you get when you see someone from high school posting about their new house, their perfect partner, or their promotion, while you're sitting on your couch in sweatpants. Even if you're happy for them, your brain subconsciously ranks you against them. It's a recipe for misery. Psychologists have found that social media creates a distorted reality where everyone's highlight reel is compared to your behind the scenes. The person who doesn't use these platforms is immune to this. They aren't comparing their Tuesday morning to a celebrity's filtered vacation in Bali. Their baseline for normal is their own life, not a curated lie. This leads to a massive spike in overall life satisfaction and a huge drop in anxiety. They aren't running a race against a billion people. They're just living their lives.
Now, you might be thinking, but aren't they lonely? Don't they miss out on everything?
This is the biggest fear people have about leaving social media. It's the FOMO, the fear of missing out. But here is the psychological twist. People who don't use social media often report higher levels of quality connection. Think about it. When you're on social media, you have weak ties with hundreds of people. You know what your third-grade classmate had for breakfast, but you haven't actually spoken to them in 15 years. It's a mile wide and an inch deep. The unplugged person, however, has to rely on strong ties. If they want to know how a friend is doing, they have to call them. They have to meet up for coffee. They have to actually engage. Their social circle might be smaller, but the bonds are significantly stronger. They aren't missing out on life. They are experiencing it with a level of depth that a like button can never replicate.
And let's talk about the mystery factor. This is a huge one in the world of psychology and attraction. In the age of oversharing, there is nothing more intriguing than someone you can't find online. When you meet someone new and you can't stalk their entire history back to 2012, they become a blank slate. You have to actually talk to them to learn about them. It creates a sense of intrigue and value. By not being available to everyone at all times, they become more valuable to the people who actually have access to them. It's the law of scarcity. They aren't a commodity. They are a mystery.
But let's be real for a second. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Choosing to live without social media in the 2020s is an act of rebellion. It's hard. You might miss the invite to a party that was only posted in a Facebook group. You might not get the joke when a new meme goes viral. There is a genuine social tax to pay. So what kind of personality type is willing to pay that tax? Usually, it's people with high levels of autonomy. These are individuals who don't feel the need to conform to social norms. They are comfortable being the odd one out. They have a strong sense of self and a high level of need for privacy. In a world that demands you be public, they find power in being private. They are the masters of their own domain. Now, think about this. When was the last time you sat in silence for 10 minutes? No music, no scrolling, just your own thoughts. For most of us, that sounds terrifying. We use social media as a digital pacifier to soothe the discomfort of being alone with ourselves. But the person who is unplugged has mastered the art of solitude. They've learned to process their own emotions without looking for a comment section to tell them how to feel. They've developed a self-soothing mechanism that is internal, not digital. This leads to incredible emotional resilience. When things go wrong, they don't turn to the internet for a distraction. They face it head on.
So here is the million-dollar question. Could you do it? Could you walk away from the scrolls, the likes, and the endless stream of information? Could you handle the silence? It sounds like a challenge, right? But maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what we need. The psychology of the unplugged shows us that there is a different way to live, a way that involves more focus, more real connection, and a lot less anxiety. They aren't just not using an app. They are reclaiming their humanity. They are choosing to be the masters of their attention rather than the product being sold by a tech giant. Imagine waking up tomorrow and not reaching for your phone. Imagine the first thing you see being the sunlight on the wall, not a notification about a political argument. Imagine going through your whole day and not feeling the urge to prove to anyone that you had a good time, just living for you. It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? Well, for the people who have stepped away, that dream is their daily reality. They are the pioneers of a new kind of freedom.
As we wrap this up, I want you to think about one thing. You don't have to delete everything today. You don't have to become a digital hermit. But what if you took just 1 hour? 1 hour where you weren't a user, a follower, or a profile. 1 hour where you were just a person, in a room, in the world. Because at the end of the day, your life isn't happening on a screen. It's happening right here, right now, in the breaths you take and the people you actually hold close. The unplugged aren't missing out on the world. They're the only ones who are truly seeing it. The question is, are you ready to open your eyes too? The world is waiting, and trust me, it's way more high definition than any screen could ever be. Go out there and live it.